Alright, here we go. Shortcuts to congruent triangles. So the first thing we're going to do is side, side, side. Not normal. I am not tripping. I'm sitting here. But we are starting our lesson. So side, side, side. If all the sides of two triangles are congruent, then the triangles are congruent. That's what it says. It's crazy. If three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent.
I already filled this out.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you just pay attention?
Yeah.
Thanks. Now, is AB congruent to DE?
Yes.
Is AC congruent to DF?
Yes.
Is BC congruent to EF? So are all three sides congruent? Then the triangles are congruent. So you would say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF by side, side, side. No, pumpkin. Isosceles means that two sides of the triangle are congruent. Are two sides of the triangle congruent? No, baby. One is not congruent to three. That's not how it works. If these two right here were congruent, they would both have one.
I thought you were talking about AB.
No.
Okay. What does that say?
Sides. It says sides. Let's walk through it one more time in case we're confused. If three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Is everybody with me? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, next we're going to talk about what happens if we have side, angle, side. Now, side, angle, side means you have to have a side, an angle right next to it, and then the next side have to be congruent. It's magic. So, if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent to two sides and the included angle of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So the sides have to squish the angle. Does everyone understand? The sides have to be touching and the angle has to be in between. So, does AB connect with AC? Okay? Is AB congruent to DF? Is AC congruent to DE? And are the angles in between those congruent? Then this is side, angle, side. That's it. So you write triangle ABC is congruent to triangle D. What would come next? We said ABC. What would it be? DFE by side, angle, side. Now, you can never do it by angle, side, side. Don't be an angle, side, side. You can't spell cuss words forward or backwards. Don't be an angle, side, side. You can't use angle, side, side. Does everyone understand?
Yeah, man.
You can only use side, angle, side, 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 or angle, side, angle. Angle, angle, angle would be like, no, because you can have congruent angles with different side lengths. We're going to talk, you don't. Okay, it's so funny. We're saying bad words in class. Congratulations, grow up. Let's move on to the next one. The next one that we're going to do is angle, side, angle. Now it says, now what do you think that's going to be? Is it going to be two sides this time or two angles? Two angles. And the side is going to be in between those angles. So it says, if two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Oh, you're cool. Now, do we have two angles are congruent? Okay, do we have a side in between those angles congruent? So then you would say that triangle ACB is congruent to what triangle? DEF. By what theorem? Angle, side, angle. Because we have two angles and a side. And that's it. That's all you do. Are you ready to practice? Jesus Christ.
You guys practicing answers. What?
He's fairly intelligent. He can fill in the blanks on his own. It's not that difficult.
Me? I can't relate to his life.
Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to give you some triangles, and you're going to have to figure out if they're congruent and by which postulate. Then when you're done with that, you can put it in the tray and start on any of your makeup work. Please crinkle as loudly as possible. Does everyone understand? Okay, let's look at number 1. Now, based on what we've talked about today, it's either going to be side, 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 angle, side, or angle, side, angle. Now, we know that we're at least going to have a side, right? Is this side also congruent? And are these angles congruent? So we have a side, then we have and then we have a? So, are they congruent? How?
Because they all look the same thing. So just one of them upside down.
By side, angle, side. Thank God, take a point.
That's what I just technically said.
No, it's not. You just say those letters.
I said it, so
Side, angle, side.
Can you go on to number 2 now?
Well, let us try.
There's a rainbow a little bit off.
1, 2, 3.
Side, side.
So, no need to.
It's alright, you work alright.